afternoon once again. Welcome to everybody just joining us. So today's masterclass session is brought to you by the RKY Group. And for those who are not familiar with us as a brand, RKY Group is a dynamic conglomerate that is dedicated to bridging the gap and creating opportunities for underrepresented individuals and communities. Our diverse portfolio includes other business ventures such as RKY Careers, the Apply Body, which is an AI powered support for professionals with job application, CV optimization, cover letter writing, and interview prep. We have the Limitless and Thriving podcast that shares insights and success stories to empower immigrant professionals and entrepreneurs. We have the Limitless Without Border, which is a tech and the networking event that features keynotes, panels, and workshops. We have the Migrant Founders Network. We also have the RKY Digital Solutions. And what are these? These are the group of businesses under the RKY group that provides end-to-end solutions and end-to-end support for immigrants and underrepresented professionals in the UK and across the world, basically helping you with every and any business need that you might have. So, who is RKY Careers? Because if I say today's session is brought to you by RKY Careers, I'm sure that for those who are not familiar with us as a brand, you are wondering who and what is RKY Careers. RKY Careers is a multi-award winning edtech company that empowers international students and professionals to excel in the competitive global job market and secure their dream positions through personalized career guidance and support. We offer practical and experience-focused bootcamps that is aimed at equipping our students with a work experience that helps them to scale interview and thrive in the job market. One of the things I always like to say is that at RKY, we have verifiable proofs. That is, we have proofs that can be verified through any of the social media platform of your choice. You can verify. We have alumni who have gone on to work, and we would also touch on that, to work in various leading firms in the UK and around the world too. And we've, of course, been recognized for the amazing work we do at RKY Careers, which includes being the top 25 changing the face of education in 2022, the best professional service solution company of the year in 2023, the career support organization of the year in 2024, the best tech and career coaching company in 2024 UK, Diversity and Inclusion Innovation Award, and many more that you can see are listed on my screen. Even just yesterday, our amazing CEO was part of the finalists for the UK Black Business Award. So she was there at the award ceremony because she was shortlisted as part of the finals. This shows to you that our work that we do in RKY Careers is not just limited to the people that we work for, but it's also gaining global traction. Now, I spoke about our CEO previously, and I just want to briefly touch on who she is. Rukia Talabi is a multi-award winning entrepreneur, and she's the founder and CEO of RKY Group and RKY Careers. She founded RKY Careers out of her own passion to support immigrants and navigating the job market. I mean, we've all been there. We all know how difficult it is to break into new markets. And of that desire, I ourselves being in the position of being an underrepresented immigrants just moving to the UK, she was able to craft out her own journey. And of course, that birthed the passion in her to ensure that other people don't get to make the same mistake that she made. And she can also provide the solutions to the problem that most immigrants will be facing once they get to the UK. So, like I said previously, that our work has also been recognized across the globe. She has been named as the top 25 changing the face of education, the EdTech CEO of the year in 2023, Innovative Entrepreneur of the year in 2024, top 25 advancing diversity, equity, inclusion in corporate UK 2024, and she has also been accepted into the Forbes official coaches council in 2024. Now, Rukayat has founded many other successful companies, which is part of the RKY group. A key highlight to Rukayat's commitment to diversity and inclusion is the Limitless Without Borders event and the Limitless and Thriving podcast. It's a platform for tech professionals and businesses to connect, to share insights and explore opportunities. Now, this event, I don't know if there's anybody who attended the LWB 3.0, which happened in Greenwich, London in June. It was an amazing event that brought together over 600 physical attendees and another 600 people joining us for watching virtually, and it was an amazing environment where people got to network, got job opportunities. They get to hear from people who have been through the same shoes and are excelling in the UK. Furthermore, Rukayat has founded the Immigrant Founders Network, which is a community that supports entrepreneurs. That is, even if the career part you don't want to climb up a corporate career ladder, but you're thinking, how then do I have a business of my own in the UK? Rukayat also has a community. We have the business coaching program that is aimed exactly at doing that, equipping you with whatever tools, education, resources, insights that you might need to excel in that field. Which is why I always like to say that the RQI group is an end-to-end solution. That is, we've thought about it. What are the possible issues that you might face? And we have come up with those solutions to ensure that you have a long, fulfilling career. So, what are the trainings and services that we offer in the RQI group? You have data analysis and business intelligence, project management and business analysis bootcamp, the advanced Microsoft Excel and PowerPoint, Scrum Master, product owner, and the product manager, digital marketing, compliance, KYC, and AML, which is one of the reasons why we're here. Like I mentioned previously, we also have the business coaching. We offer full career rebrand, professional portfolios, LinkedIn optimization, interview prep, career advisory, and CV optimization. And now that that intro is done, I think now we can go straight to the taster session. The reason why we've all joined here today, which is basically to gain an insight into what happens in the compliance bootcamp exactly. So this is just to give us a taster of that. So what exactly is compliance? As you can see on my screen, compliance is an essential aspect for government and organizations across all jurisdictions. It ensures that they operate within the bounds of the law, adhere to regulations, and meet ethical and industry standards. Compliance is a multifaceted concept that involves adhering to rules, regulations, standards, ethical principles within a specific context, whether it's within a government, whether it's within an organization, whether it's within an industry. It encompasses a broad range of activities that is aimed at ensuring that an entity operates in a lawful, ethical, and a responsible manner. So, what exactly does compliance entail in itself? Compliance encompasses a wide array of rules, regulation, and ethical standards, like I've been mentioning, that individual businesses and organizations must adhere to. It is a fundamental aspect of conducting businesses operations within the UK and ensuring that activities are conducted legally, ethically, and responsible. I've said this before, but what does this exactly mean? It means that within the UK and even across the world, compliance is how you ensure that a company, an individual, a business is right within the law. That is, your operations is not going, it's not in contradiction to the government, for instance, or whatever law that has been put in place. Compliance is basically what ensures that you, as a company, you're protected, your business is protected, and even as individuals, that we are protected, and whatever activities that we are conducting is not only legal, it is ethical and very, very responsible. Now, compliance covers areas such as financial regulation, data protection, AML, GDPR. I'm sure some of us here would have been familiar with some of these terms, and many more. And like I said, that compliance is what ensures that our activities as a business, as an individual, is happens legally and is conducted in a ethically and also morally. So, what are now the essentials of the compliance field? That is, if you want to get into the compliance field, what are the things that are important for you to know? What are the things that you need to be able to effectively function in a compliance role? You need legal or industry knowledge, a deep understanding of relevant UK laws, regulation, including industry-specific regulation, is very, very essential. Compliance professionals must keep up to date with changes, because we all know, like, the rules are always regularly changing. There's always a new thing from the government. As a compliance expert, you must be able to keep up with the trend, keep up to date with what are the rules, what are the changes, what are the provisions, what exactly is going on, which is why legal and industry knowledge is very, very essential. Next, you have the regulatory framework. You would need to familiarize yourself with the specific regulatory bodies and agencies relevant to your field. In the UK, this might include the Financial Conduct Authority and the Information Commissioner's Office. Next, you have training and education. Ongoing training and education are necessary to ensure that employees understand compliance requirements and how to meet them. Data protection and privacy measures. Compliance with data protection regulations include GDPR, and they are very, very crucial and very essential. They include data security, consent management, data breach reporting, and of course, you also have financial compliance. Financial institutions must have robust AML and CTF measures to prevent money laundering and terrorist financing. These are all essential if you want to get into the compliance field on its own. These are skills, let me say practical experience, that you would need to consider before you can even effectively function within the compliance field. Just know, are we with me so far? I just want to see a show of hands to know that everybody is with me so far, and everybody can still hear me, can still see my screen. Okay, nice, Episola. Okay, good. That's good. Now, apart from these technical know-hows that I just listed, there are other essential skills that are very, very important in the compliance field. One of which is the analytical skills. Now, these are soft skills. They are not the hard skills I just mentioned, but these are also soft skills that are very, very relevant and very important if you would be going into the compliance field. You have analytical skills, which is your ability to analyze and identify risks associated with non-compliance and implement measures to mitigate them. You have problem solving, which is developing essential and effective solutions to address compliance challenges. Communication skills, being able to correctly articulate complex regulations and compliance requirements to various stakeholders in a simple and a very understandable manner. You have ethical judgment and integrity, that is ensuring that the organization operates within the ethical guidelines and maintains a culture of integrity. And of course, you have confidentiality, because you'll be working with sensitive information. It is very, very important that you are able to safeguard this sensitive information and maintain discretion at all times. Now, apart from this, there are also other skills I've noted here that are very important. I did mention risk assessment, so it's very important that you have that continuous improvement. Of course, the ability to learn and relearn and unlearn is very, very important in any field that we find ourselves. But particularly in compliance, you need financial sanctions, documentation and record keeping, GDPR, mentioned this quite a number of times, strategic thinking, KYC AML, data protection, legal and industry knowledge. This is just a summary of all the skills that I've noted that are very, very important for us as if we want to go into compliance as a field. Now, anyone keen in on sufficient interest, training, or certification can switch to any career path of their choice. Of course, this is just compiled based on the data that has been available to us. But what are the potential career paths and the average salary if you want to go into compliance as a role? One of the career paths is as a KYC analyst, which will earn you about £60,000. A compliance analyst, which grosses a £48,000. You have a risk manager, which is about £71,000. Financial crime analyst, which is about £68,000. A sanction officer, £45,000, and AML compliance analyst, which is about £58,000. You also can be a data protection specialist, which is about £62,000. Now, why should you pursue a career in the compliance field? Entering the compliance field can be a very rewarding and promising career choice for several reasons, and I've done well to just highlight them for us here. One, there is a high demand for compliance professionals. The regulatory landscape is a very complex and a constantly evolving one. So, businesses and organizations require compliance professionals to help them navigate and adhere to these regulations. Career stability, of course. Compliance is an essential function in various industries. So ensuring that the legality and the ethical and businesses are conducted in an ethical manner is one that is very, very important, and is very important for any business to basically function. So this makes compliance role very, very stable even during economic downtimes. You have diverse career opportunities. I think I mentioned this earlier too. That is, the compliance field offers a wide range of career opportunities in various sectors, which include finance, healthcare, environment, the data protection compliance field in itself. So global relevance too. Skills and knowledge that you gain in the compliance field is very, very transferable international. That is, even as regulatory and ethical standards are increasingly becoming more global. So even apart from even the UK, these are skills that you can apply in the global job market in itself. Competitive compensation, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to ensure that whatever field they're transitioning into is one that compensates them fairly, and the compliance field is one that you can be assured does that, because compliance professionals are very, very well compensated due to the critical nature of their roles and the specialized knowledge that is required to actually perform their job. Next, you have the global regulatory trends, and you see here that the UK often aligns its regulation with international standard, which means that professionals in the UK compliance field can be well prepared to work on international compliance issues. And now that we now have like a basic knowledge of what is compliance, what are the skills that are needed, and why should you even go into compliance itself, I want to give us a brief about what goes on in the RKY bootcamp. In the RKY compliance bootcamp, how then do we prepare you to ensure that you have a career? You have don't just even have any kind of career, you have a fulfilling career in compliance. Now, the compliance bootcamp provides comprehensive training that is aimed at equipping professionals with the knowledge and the skills necessary to navigate the intricate landscape of the UK compliance field. This bootcamp has been thoughtfully designed to help equip our students with the essential knowledge and the skills that are required to excel in the complex world of compliance. I just stated earlier that if you practice compliance in the UK, because the UK has a world standard, you can also work anywhere in the world, which means that by participating in the RKY compliance bootcamp, we're not just preparing you for the UK job market, but for the global job market, which enables you also pursue international gigs and international opportunities. Our approach, of course, focuses on practicality, ensuring that you not only grasp the theory but also learn on how to apply this effectively in real world scenarios. By the end of the bootcamp, you have a thorough understanding of compliance. You'll be well versed in best practices and possess the confidence that you need to make informed compliance decisions. Now, what are our reviews? Like, what makes me so confident? I always say this: at RKY Career, we have verifiable pros. It means that on whatever platforms that you feel that, oh, I trust this platform well in terms of reviews, you can go and check at RKY Careers. Trust Pilot, you can see the kind of reviews that we have on Trust Pilot, even your Google reviews. You can go on LinkedIn. We have so many of our students who share their success stories on LinkedIn. I would also even have one of our former students speak to us on this call today. Now, what are the perks of joining a bootcamp? You have a virtual live training. You have a practical case study. So you're not just going to be listening to just theory. We have the case studies where you get to work on how to apply whatever it is that you're learning in a real life situation, which is, of course, the real life scenarios that you can see on my screen. You also get a UK job reference. You have your CV and LinkedIn optimization. You have the post bootcamp alumni support. You have interview prep. You have a certificate of completion. Of course, you have quizzes and competency tests to help you test your knowledge base to ensure that you're actually learning on schedule. And of course, you'll have access to the learning management system that we call the LMS even after you're done. And once all this is done, we cumulate the bootcamp experience with a final project, which are cases that you would need to resolve. Now, who can take this course? Who can take this course? The ideal thing is that um, this course is ideal for anybody that is into the banking or a financial professional that is moving into compliance. If you're an accountant, this is a course for you. If you're a foreign trained lawyer or an ex-banker, it's a course for you. If you're a CEO or a corporate executive, compliance is a course for you. Or if you're just even seeking to pivot into a career in KYC compliance, this is the course for you. If you're looking to become a risk manager, compliance is the course for you to take. Now, after our bootcamp, after joining the RKY bootcamp, these are the skills that you will come up with. You will come up with a comprehensive regulatory knowledge, KYC AML. You'll come up with data protection and privacy expertise, GDPR, financial sanctions, risk assessment, and mitigation. And what does these skills now equip you to do? Because at the end of this day, the goal is that you are able to pivot into a career of your choice, in this case, a compliance career. So after you've joined the bootcamp, these are some of the roles that you'll be able to apply for based on the skill sets that will be impacting on you. You will be able to apply for roles such as the AML Analyst, a compliance officer, policy and procedure analyst, a compliance analyst, a data protection officer, business compliance analyst, a risk analyst, regulatory affairs specialist, a KYC quality control analyst, a KYC analyst, compliance risk manager, and AML investigator. This is one of the reasons why we say that compliance in itself is very diverse. Like, you are not restricted to just one area. You are able to apply your skill sets in various industries, like I mentioned earlier, but also in various fields. So you're not just restricted in one place to say, oh, I can only become a compliance officer. No, there are other aspects of the job markets that you can utilize your skills for. Of course, some compliance related roles in the UK also allow you to be eligible for a visa sponsorship, and you see some of them like on my screen right now, especially UK skilled water occupational list with the various codes that you can see that are displayed on my screen right now. So which is one of the reasons why compliance, if you are looking into getting a visa sponsorship, roles in compliance might be the way to go for you. Now, in terms of what are the opportunities, like what does the database look like in terms of opportunities that are relevant to you in compliance, KYC, or AML opportunities? You have more than 2,400 business and financial professional roles. You have over 2,400 quality assurance and regulatory ones. You have over 2,400 business, financial, and project managers roles to open to you. So one of the ways that you can strategically position yourself is, of course, use targeted titles like compliance analyst, AML officer, or KYC specialist, like I mentioned earlier. Of course, you want to also emphasize your regulatory understanding, your due diligence process, and compliance reporting. You want to include the specific language, such as ensure, like in your CV, of course, to show expertise, and like to show expertise and of course thought leadership. You want to include language like ensured onboarding met FCA and AML guidelines, or reduce compliance risks by 40%. Success stories. I always like to reiterate how much we have very few people, because if you just go on our website, you have success story. But in case you believe that, oh, success stories can be fabricated, do you use LinkedIn? Do you use IG, Instagram? Again, we have verifiable proofs. You can go into some of the people, you can go into some of their DMs, chat them up, and see it for yourself that these are people within the UK who have gone through the bootcamp, who have their jobs, who are working within this compliant role. If that is what it takes, like, of course, to convince you that our success stories are not just hogwash. They are not just, oh, these people just put this together. Again, they are verifiable proofs. So at RKY Careers, we have over 2,000 success stories from those who took our bootcamp, especially our compliance bootcamp. Of course, you would see from my screen You will see people that landed probate officers, onboarding advisor. You would see people that landed job as business intelligence visualization, from healthcare assistant to project manager. Various success stories, like I said. This person, for instance, was in the compliance bootcamp and landed a role as an AML analyst with a law firm in the UK. Sorry. Yeah, we also have people with no prior experience to risk and compliance specialists. Hello, please let's just ensure that we are muted to ensure that the recording goes as planned. Thank you very much. Of course, we also have people in the product management and delivery or Scrum Bootcamp who also have various success stories from the bootcamp. Now, even from just our recently concluded cohort, that is for the UK analyst, for the compliance bootcamp, you can see some of the success stories that have been shared with us. You see, I've just landed a role as a KYC analyst after the UK Compliance Bootcamp. You would see somebody else landed a role as a customer support specialist after the UK Compliance Bootcamp. Another person also landed a role as a KYC analyst after the UK Compliance Bootcamp. All these are roles that are very, very important, and these are roles that are very, very possible. So what we just did here was to highlight some of the roles that our alumni have been able to secure jobs after the bootcamp. You can see KYC analysts, compliance managers, financial advisors, AML investigators, senior account officer, KYC quality control analyst, data protection officer, central compliance specialist, risk and compliance officer, business compliance analyst, transaction monitoring investigator, and many more. We're gonna have one of our alumni come on board to speak with us. But before I introduce him, let me just go ahead to speak on our training perks. I've talked about this a lot in terms of what are the things that you get to gain if you come on board. If you come on board with us, you have the live expert-led training. You have, of course, building real-life product. You have access to the LMS, like I said, a UK job reference, the competency test, interview prep, a globally recognized certificate of completions. You also have position for visa sponsorship and a six-figure job, global talent and digital nomad, the visa. Of course, there's also the post-bootcamp support, which ensures that even after your bootcamp, we don't just leave you hanging. We don't just say, oh, your bootcamp is done, or that's it. No, our alumni system is a community on its own, which means that everybody that's been through this has also been in the community. And one of the things that we regularly always do is to ensure that they are training. There are trainings that we can impact to our alumni system. At RKY Careers, we are also continually checking for, what are the latest trends? What are the important aspects? What are the important aspects? What are the latest trends that are going on? And how can we impact this knowledge to our alumni system to better position them for jobs in the UK and in the global job market in itself? So our next bootcamp is starting this October. We have some of them even starting today, but the compliance will be starting October 25th, and you want to ensure that you take full advantage of it. There's also a flexible payment plan, of course, to ensure that you don't feel the full financial impact at a go. And of course, if you want to make a full financial commitment, that is, of course, also allowed. The special offer goes for $599. Like I said, and the start date is October 25th. Flexible payments is available for those who would like to pay in installments through Klarna, Pay Later, PayPal, or ClearPay on its own. So yes, from that, let me go back to our guest speaker for today. Our guest speaker is Oluwasegun Alatishe. He's an alumni of ours. He's an alumni of the UK Compliance Bootcamp. He originally trained as a banker and marketer in Nigeria, joined the UK Compliance Bootcamp to integrate his prior banking experience into the UK financial landscape. And through this, he discovered a strong passion for fraud prevention, AML investigation, and regulatory compliance. And since the bootcamp, he has worked in multiple institutions, applying his expertise to strengthen compliance function. But don't let me just tell you about it. Let's hear from Oluwasegun himself. Oluwasegun, are you here with us?
Yeah, yeah. Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Good afternoon, everyone. I believe I can get a yes. I'm not sure if I'm audible enough. If anyone can hear me. Good
Yeah,
afternoon,
we can
everyone.
hear you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. My name is Shegun. Oluwasegun, but it's, in the UK, the way they call it. It's prefer the shorter one. So you could call me Olu or whichever is easier for you. So I will just start by introducing myself first. I have, like she has actually said, I think Abisoye has actually given a background of myself. I trained as a banker in Nigeria, where I've worked in a couple of banks in Nigeria, basically as commercial, retail, banking as a marketer or relationship manager. So for me, I strongly believe in putting in the best, and strongly believe that anything, once you have the passion to do it, you can do. So you can do it actually. So I never had experience in compliance, but back home in Nigeria, we could have, some of us that are maybe bank workers or probably that into that has experience, or have one or two people in banking sector would attest to it, that we have some trainings in compliance. So, but I didn't take it serious then, because I just followed my sales or relationship role. Then until I found myself in the UK, and I had to understand what was obtainable in the UK, how I could integrate into the system. I quite had a lot of people. That was in 2022. I came in 2022. And as you all know, that was when, I think that was when RKY started the first bootcamp. So I was privileged to be one of the first, join the first cohort of the RKY bootcamp. That was in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2022. I think that was in November. So I had the opportunity to speak to Rukayat then, and we exchanged ideas, and I joined the bootcamp. And ever since then, I had a very detailed, thorough training. Honestly, it was very impactful, because I now realized that I had transferable skills, though they were not really deep then, because I felt that after the training, there were some things I've learned that helped me build on what I've done in Nigeria. Everybody has experience in customer service. Everybody, either you're a banker or probably maybe you've worked in any company. It doesn't necessarily have to be a financial institution or even a law firm. No, you don't have to be a lawyer. No. So far, you have the experience as a customer service, or you've done something that relates to you speaking to customers, or probably relates to you handling documents or doing some due diligence. So I had a training, very thorough training, practical and on training, and we had to, put everything in place. And I started enjoying the benefit of the training when I got my first role in Lloyds. That was in 2023, early 2023, because I had the training in November. I got the first role as KYC. Then from there, it was a contract role, though it was renewable, but I went back to the slide, so I felt I could do more. I had that passion for, fully settling down in the space, because I had opportunity in other areas, but I just felt this would be easier for me. So I got myself into it, and I did contract with Lloyds. From Lloyds, I still kept my materials in with RKY Bootcamp, because till now I still go back to the notes and jottings and everything we had there. So for you to know, and even the ones we have on the group chats, I pick one or two things just to add to my knowledge. So after like 3 months, I needed to test myself again. I applied for another role that was in Santander, which was in 2023. I got the role as well. I came in as well. I spent 2 years, and after 2 years in Santander, I had to resign a couple of months ago because I got another role. So on and on, it's been a very good journey somewhere. I mean, currently still working in the same field, the same space, rather, as an AML investigator. So I would advise you just my little understanding is in life. I quite understand that experience is the hardest kind of teacher, and but one thing is he gives you the test first and the lessons after. So over time, I realized I was building on, and gradually I integrated myself into the system. I even negotiated the pay I wanted after I've gotten the role. So it's RKY would give you the full training, hands-on training, not only in compliance, I believe in other areas, because I've made some referrals to some of my friends that got roles in data analysis and business analysis as well. So I would advise with different questions, different ways of learning. RKY would they have good facilitators. I've learned a lot from them. Likes of, I don't want to just start mentioning names. Likes of good facilitators that really helped me. Even after the training, I got reference from them when I was in Lloyd's, and it's been a very wonderful journey. And I would employ us all to, even then we didn't have the option of even paying, splitting our payments instrumentally. It was a bullet payment. It's that you can afford it, it's that you pay or you can't pay. But now I've made reference to, I refer us to RKY, and the feedback I got from my colleagues, though most of them, 90% of them have actually gotten roles in London and outside London. And they told me that they had to split payment, which is, I never even knew that service was there. So I would encourage us all to join the next boot camp, whichever one, but most importantly, just ensure you know where your strength or your passion is. That's very important. So compliance for me was what I wanted, so I had to go for that. So but the team, the RKY career or consulting services, they have excellent facilitators. So I'll encourage us to um, join the boot camp and start learning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shagun. Thank you very much. I mean, we've all heard from him, and this is one of the ways I always say, like in terms of in RKY, our alumni system is not. We don't just even leave you. There's a community of people who have been there, who have done it, who are also willing to provide you whatever support it is that you need. And we also, of course, have our own dedicated team. Even if compliance is not the way you go, if you come out of this meeting saying, "Oh, maybe not compliance, but what are the other specs I could go for?" I've shared the other services that we have. We have digital marketing, we have project management and business intelligence. We have Scrum Master, product owner. So there are other courses that you could go for, as long as you have that dream and you have that dream to say, "Oh, you know what? I want to do something different. I want to pivot. I want to grow my career. I want to pivot into a new career." RKY already has that end-to-end solution to help you answer whatever question that you have. And just to reiterate again, the UK Compliance Bootcamp starts October 25th. This is something you don't want to miss. I've been speaking throughout about what are the skill sets that you need, about what roles can you apply for. And you can hear from Shegun himself, he has worked in Lloyd's, like Satanda, those are big names. And that's to show you that we don't just say these things in mouth. These are, of course, like I always say, verifiable proofs on our end. So one of the things that Shegun mentioned when he was talking is about the quality of our facilitators. And that is one of the places that we do not compromise at all when it comes to RKY careers. Our facilitators are the top of the game. And one of them is going to speak to us shortly, next 15 minutes. And that is Olumide Tolorin. We fondly call him Lumi here in the house. And Lumi is a UK qualified solicitor and compliance professional with over 12 years of experience holding top positions in renowned international firms such as Credit Suisse, JP Morgan Chase, BNP Paribas, and other financial institutions across the UK. He has an executive MBA from Grenoble École de Management, which is triple accredited, an MSc from the University of Wales, and an LLM and LLB from the University of Ibadan. Is an ICA certified member, having completed a diploma in financial crimes prevention from International Compliance Association and another diploma in investment compliance from the Chartered Institute of Security Investment. Is also a chartered governance professional and company secretary. And his specialties include compliance, KYC, AML, MIFID, financial crime, fraud, ABC, transaction monitoring, business analysis, and project management are among his financial industry expertise. Lumi, please, are you here with us? And so when I say you're in good hands, if you decide to come on board, know you're sure you're in the hands of some of the best teachers in the field. Lumi, are you here with us?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much for that introduction.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
So, yeah, and thanks everyone for attending our session. It's great to be here as usual, and it's a good thing to discuss our program as well. It's a special program, and it's not something you meet out there. So, what we are doing here at RKY is to make sure that we upgrade you. And it's just an opportunity for you to rebrand yourself. So what we do here is to make sure that we've identified the gaps. A lot of people don't have the skills or the experience for most of the applications they apply for. And our program now takes into consideration that fact. You're applying for jobs, you're getting no, you need a better job, you need a remote job. A lot of people I've spoken to, they just want a remote job. They don't even mind if it's not paying more than 50, 60K. They just want a remote job where they can take their children to school and all that. So we at RKY, we've studied the market and we've seen that, okay, people don't know how to get these remote jobs. They also don't know how to present themselves for interviews. So you need to have, and also your CV. That's a very important part of this whole process. So we are going to draft your CV. Your CV is what will get you an interview. There are certain things you need to have on your CV. Okay? It's not like somebody is going to go through 3,000 CVs or 1,000 CVs. No. It's going to be AI led. So the AI is going to pick some SEO words in your CV. Okay? Just to see the level of words that meet up to interview level invitation. And that's what we are planning to do here. So we know these things. And even when you now get the interview, that's a different ball game. You need to learn how to speak. You need to learn how to answer questions. What are the most important questions? You need to understand the difference between source of wealth and source of funds. You need to be able to explain yourself, explain sanctions. You need to be aware of things happening in Gaza, things happening in Russia. Who are the people that have been sanctioned? What are the corruption charges? What's happening here and there? You need to have a geopolitical sense of what's going on. And that also ties into compliance. Like the Middle East has a lot of issues with sanctions and a lot of PEPs. So you need to understand some of those things. Okay, so I could even tell you my story. Maybe it will motivate you and give you further insight into how I started, my journey. So, of course, I also jackpot some time ago. And when I jackpot, I wasn't satisfied with the first job. I would say I was shocked because I was practicing law in Nigeria, and then my first job here was just a shock. Like I wore one of my best suits to work and everything, and then the next thing somebody just handed me a broom. Hey. It wasn't easy, as in my mind was like, so what's happening here? So it's going to be a cleaning job and all that. How can I, a lawyer, come and do that? I said I wasn't going to tell anybody. Then somebody just called me and said, you're hustling on Balen in UK and all that. I said, what kind of nonsense is that and everything? But that was, I was a student, so you had to do all those jobs and everything. So I now made up my mind that I'm not even settling down for anything, Why are people going to be earning 100K, 150K, and me, I'm, doing all this nonsense? So I told my colleagues then that I'm going to get a job in a bank and I'm going to get a good paying job and everything. They were laughing at me and they thought it was a joke and everything. It took me about 7 years. At that point in time, we didn't have RKY. We didn't have any support. So, I think I must have applied for about 400 applications before my first interview. So one of my friends in the bank, said, let him even have a look at my CV to even send to other friends, see if they can help. And then he said, why did I put local government on my CV? Why did I put this? Why did I put that? So I now found out that my CV wasn't even allowing me to break that barrier. So I was the one limiting myself. And then I had put all my full name, my middle name, everything as if I was local government chairman. So he now told me, remove all these things, remove all these Niger things and everything, remove this, remove that, remove this, tidy it up. This is how you do your CV. Your CV needs to be done like this. So he helped me to do the CV. Guess what the next problem was? Interviews. Now, when they called me for interviews, I used to run away. It was terrible because they will now start asking me all these questions like, where did you get experience from? What is AML? What is sanctions? What is this? What is that? How much are you expecting to earn? Sometimes I'll go and tell them 25K. The role is paying 70K. They removed me. Sometimes you tell them 70K. The role is 40K. So how do you know what salary to tell them? You're not prepared for this process. So over time, I built, one skill after each other, and, I was able to now apply for the right jobs and now master the interview process as well. So all those questions they used to ask me before, now I'm just laughing at those questions. Of course, yeah, I've been training for about 14 years. Yeah, I will laugh. But, at that point in time, when I started the journey, I just felt as if it was something difficult, like a Titanic, So what we've done at RKY is we've thought about how to get people into jobs in less than 5 weeks. And if that's not even possible, we will continue to provide support even after they finished their initial phase, because we have Thursday sessions which are packed. Okay, so this is when we have your interview session, and that's when you come with your questions. You have an interview, and then we have a mock interview, then we correct the answers. Okay, maybe questions like, tell me about yourself. A lot of people mess you up when they say tell me about yourself. I've asked a few people, tell me about yourself, and they are calling me sir. And Oyibo doesn't like that, So there is a difference in culture. There are things you need to adjust to. So they don't want to be called sir, like, why sir, but we are very respectful, and that's a good thing, but it's not something they maybe value, like, in that format. So there are things that they are not used to. So it's you saying sir, we appear as if you are desperate, but to them it will appear as if you are desperate, but to you are used to it because in Nigeria you are being respectful. It's not as if you call your dad by name. Come here, Peter, come in here or something. You said, Daddy Peter, or something like that, So these are things you need to also adjust to. And then if you are even coming from a different industry or from a different jurisdiction, you need to know the legislation. So we are even teaching you the GMLSG. We are not like saying, we are not creating anything. We are taking you to where everything started from. It's like you want to build Lego. There's a manual for building Lego. We are going to show you the manual for building your AML architecture. And what I can assure you is that at the end of the program, you will be thinking of the skills you can bring in or your niche area, because we are just building a foundation for you. So the skills you will need to bring in will be like, maybe someone here is thinking, oh, I can even go and develop an AML screening tool. Oh, I might even be a project manager in AML now. Oh, I might even be a legal drafter for AML law firms. I understand source of wealth. I can explain it. I can interpret the GMLSG. So your regulatory knowledge will be embellished. What we are looking at is opening up GMLSG to you. We are also going to open up FATF to you. You need to take some of these things for your interviews. You are not like you're coming from another institution. No, you are going to be competing on your own level. Okay, so you will decide, okay, you know what, I'm attending RKY. Oh, they have a little bit of wahala. They want me to apply for 20 jobs, and all that every week and all that. Their wahala is too much. They want me to read GMLSG 20 minutes a day, leave social media, leave Instagram, leave all these things. Just forget all those things for 2-3 months. Just forget those things. Even, those things don't really bring any, I don't know. But I believe if you invest in GMLS, GFATF, you will get something out of it. When you go for interviews, you will be confident. When I go for interviews, I don't rush again. So what am I rushing for? You tell me. Well, what am I rushing for? What do they want to even ask me? I can write my own mini GMLSG now. Because why? I'm reading. You understand? A lot of people don't read. So if we show you what to read and you do what we do, or you do as we say, there is a possibility that you will reward yourself with a good job, and that will be the beginning of your career. And don't look at it that, oh, I'm maybe earning something not too much now, maybe 50K or something. Your plan is to become manager, director, earn 100, 200K. You get, but you have to also work hard, and even if you get the job, you also have to work hard to keep it. So I won't say anything is a bed of roses as well. We work hard here as well, and that's what helps us, and that's why we are popular. That's why we have all the success stories. That's why recruiters are looking for our people, and they know that yes, these people have been well trained. So this is an opportunity for you. I don't want to overmarket us and everything, but I'm the facilitator. I have 14 years experience. I've worked in transaction monitoring, KYC onboarding. I've led projects. I've worked as a business analyst as well. So the way is that we'll be training you, and I'll also be introducing some business analysis, some data stuff, and everything to whatever we are doing. Gives you an idea of what you can find yourself in, how you can be self-aware and know that, oh, maybe I'm able to do this. Like lawyers now, maybe they're able to draft documents. You could be an EDD policy document drafter, or if maybe you're coming from care, you're used to admin work and all that, you could do KYC work. It's simple. You just have to find how to know the different places to search for and how to ace your interview. CV ready, interview skills ready, job negotiation, salary ready, and all that. And then that's it. Your family gets a better salary. So don't think of it that you are doing it for yourself. I did it for my family, but I don't want to be too motivational, okay? I have my own reasons and all that. I wasn't happy with the job I had. I actually hated that job, all right, to be honest with you guys. But I still have friends doing that job, and some of them have also done RKY and they've moved on. But some have decided they don't even want to stress themselves and all that. But it's up to you. So I hope I've not taken too much of your time, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope I see you on the other side of things. If you decide to come with us, yes, definitely we'll give you the best value for money. And as Abisoye has also said, we also have flexible payment. So it's not as if it's something that would hurt your budget, but it's a good investment. I can assure you, you will network with the industry specialists, and you also get a good chance to get a solid job as well. So thanks, Abisoye. I think that's
thank you so much, Lumi.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It was really nice hearing from you. And I'm sure everybody listening to us taking in one or two nuggets from everything that Lumi has said to us, and how you can best position yourself for a career in compliance. And even the things you have said even goes beyond compliance. It's one of the ways you position yourself for any rewarding career. And of course, how KY can help you do that. If you check my screen right now, I'm showing you some of the companies where our students have landed jobs. And even from here, from Olusegun, you see that our students don't just walk in just a run of the mill. These are students who have gone on to land jobs with HSBC, Santander, NatWest, Bank of Scotland, Barclays, Nationwide, Monzo, Virgin Money, Halifax, Lloyds Bank, RBS, Metro Bank, and many more. So I always strongly believe that anything you want to do in life, anything worth doing well at all, anything worth doing at all is worth doing well. And in that sense, it means that whatever it is that you want from life would require a significant amount of investment on your end. In your own stead right now, it means that we inquire some financial investment. But of course, that's one of the reasons why we've put together the payment plan to ensure that it is easy for you. So don't let the money scare you off. This is an investment that could potentially change your life, that could change everything. It could be the start of every single thing that you have imagined for yourself and for your future. And in case you're thinking that, you know what, I'm thinking of starting a business. Instead, I have on my screen the business coaching and accelerator program, which is where Portuguese coaches you an end-to-end on how to turn your ideas into businesses and how to run a full-scale business in the UK. So in case that's something that's been on your mind and you're like, oh, I don't want to climb the corporate ladder, I'd rather go into business. I always say it, RQY has the end-to-end solution for you, for whatever problems that you might face as an immigrant. So are you ready? That's the question to ask yourself right now. Am I ready to take the next step? Am I ready to take the required step towards my future? And just as I mentioned earlier, we have the Limitless and Thriving podcast where you can even go there right now, go on YouTube or wherever it is you listen to your podcast from, and you can hear from other people, other immigrants such as yourself who have found themselves in the UK and how they've been able to craft a path for themselves and what are the things they did. Yeah. I spoke on about the payments plans, and the admin has also dropped it in the chat box on how you can make payment. And of course, join us in this next cohort for the Compliance Bootcamp. So we are live now. We are taking orders. We're also taking orders on Apply Buddy in case you work and you're like, oh, I want to apply for jobs, but I don't have the time. The Apply Buddy is an application support for you that can help you minimize the time and the effort, even basically takes it away that it takes for you to apply to the jobs of your dream. And of course, you can lastly join the RKY Affiliates program, which is a way to earn by referring people to the RKY bootcamp. So yes, upcoming event, like I stated, you have the UK Compliance, which is starting October 25. The Excel course starts October 25. PMBA is starting today, October 18th. Data BI is starting October 18th today. Digital marketing is starting November 1st, and products is starting November 1st too. So that brings me to my own hand. Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions from our audience? Any questions for me? Any questions for Lumi?
I've got a question.
Okay, please go ahead.
Right. So I currently work as a customer service in the fraud department with Barclays. So my reason for joining this program is basically geared towards visa sponsorship. So I'd just like to understand what kind of support that you guys offer in terms of, visa sponsorship.
Hello, Jane. If I got you correctly, you're asking that what kind of support do we offer in terms of visa sponsorships?
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of visa sponsorship, I would say we do have partners that we utilize for some of our students too. So in terms of next step, I would say you should message one of our consultants. They would be in the best position to give you all the details when it comes to visa sponsorship and how we go about that on our end. The WhatsApp links are in the chat box.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're very much welcome. Any other questions?
Yes, can I ask a question, please?
Please go ahead.
Okay. Actually, my question is directed at Lumi. Because I'm a lawyer back in Nigeria, and I wanted to ask, like, do you suggest I do the solicitorship training first before I do your compliance course? Because I want to be able, unfortunately, I'm on visa sponsorship, but in a care home, and I absolutely hate it. And I feel like I'm dying on a daily basis. I want to be sponsored in like a law office and all of that, but I'm interested in this compliance, but for like maybe a law firm or something of that nature. So I'm thinking, should I do the because I've been thinking of like doing the solicitorship thing first. But I've been looking at it because I subscribe to your mails, so I constantly get mails. One of the reasons I've been like a bit hesitant, like, will I get a full picture if I do it? Will it be enough, like just my LLB? Because I did a master's in the UK, but I didn't do it in law because I started teaching like in Nigeria, like while I was still practicing. I kind of enjoyed teaching, and I was like, so I started a school in short in Nigeria before I came here. So
Wow.
I did a master's in education here, and I kept regretting, why didn't I do a master's in law instead and all of that? Because I thought that master's in education I did will enable me to have a job in the school. But I discovered that I had needed to have, a PGDE with a QTS and all of that. And I just did not want to go to all the trouble again. When my student visa, because my course was like 2 years course, when my course was, when my visa was going to expire, I was doing my 20 hours in a care home. So I applied for like law roles, but basically as what do they call them? Not as a full law, like a law role, but like lower role in law firm. But I never got any. So I was desperate just before my visa was coming to an end, and I was, I asked them to sponsor me, and I was sponsored. Well, I absolutely hate it, but I don't know the way forward. I kind of want to do this your compliance thing, but will it give me the full picture, enable me to get a job immediately, or do I just like do the solicitorship, exam before I do this course? That's just my question. Thank you.
Wow. Thanks. Sorry, I didn't get your name.
Okay, my name is Basi Olusegun.
Basi, okay, yeah. So thanks for the question, Basi. That's a very good question. Yeah, happy to answer that question, and it also relates to what I've also been through. So there are various visa sponsorship opportunities you get. They are in different directions. Now, the one for you now as a compliance person is I think you want to go back to the law firm, right? And they have conflict rules. They have AML conflict rules, which could fall under legal associate sponsorship. Yeah, so maybe you could do some research on legal associate sponsorship. So what it will be is you are moving from maybe Nigerian legal system to UK legal system, whereby we have the Nigeria AML stuff, right? But I don't think people really follow it, the SCUML and all those things. But over here, you have to comply with the SRA rules, which are also aligned to the MLR 2017 rules and everything. Of course, there is less activity in the law firms compared to the banks, but there's still the same level expected. So it's for you to understand the SRA rules, understand the MLR 2017 rules, know how to perform due diligence, how to perform a conflict assessment, and then know how to also manage your PEP relationships and all those things. Now, you are thinking of doing the SRA, the conversion, right? Or jumping into compliance first?
I'm trying to make up my mind which one is what I should do. But I originally wanted to apply for the solicitor exam.
Okay.
That's what I had in mind, first of all, for like for next year, for the exam next year. That's what I had in mind.
Okay. So because now, the bias I have towards that one is that I did it and then I also struggled to get jobs. I did everything. I'm telling you, I did everything. I suffered though. Hey, I did MBA, I did MSc. They said continue studying. I did CISI, I did this one, I did that one. I did everything. I converted as well. You get so after conversion, the best job I could get was working as an immigration solicitor. After I finished work, I had to go back to do my cleaning just to make ends meet. So just imagine that. Now, it's like a joke. Like what I was earning in 1 month now, on some projects I've earned it in 1 day. So I don't know whether this law something. I don't know. It's just like a few people are lucky. I have a few lawyers that are lucky. To be lucky, you probably have to be in Clifford Chance and all these ones. You get, and they have bias against Niger degrees and all that. That's what I noticed. They just want everybody in Clifford Chance wants everybody from Oxford, everybody from Cambridge. You understand? So when you now come like Niger now, they now look as if they are coming from North Korea. So that's the beef. I don't know how to explain it, but when I broke into compliance, it seemed as if it was easier for me. You get, there are some roles in compliance, they are paying 400, they are paying 500, they are paying 1,000, they are paying 2,000. There are some roles in law too, they are paying the same thing. But to get them is the problem. Is it easier to get one in law or one in compliance? I think it will be easier to get one in compliance. And you can still decide to chase the law one. You never know. It might also, you never know. But the opportunity here is just the opportunity presented before you is that you can jump into compliance, get a sponsorship. It's not guaranteed, but of course you can try to get one, and then pay for this course over 3 to 12 months and still get a job in compliance. For you now, these are some of the skills you should already have, to be honest, like, the performing due diligence in the law firm in Nigeria, is something Nigeria should have, I don't know, taken seriously. I don't know. So it's something that you should have done, and you are now learning it, and you can, in one way or the other, still put it on your CV because you should have done it as well. So you can still market your CV one way or the other. Yeah, so I see opportunities on the CV. Yeah, and I see there's a possibility you can go back to the law firm and work as a conflict analyst, and then maybe you can also upgrade yourself in that law firm to a solicitor job. Yeah, the only problem is if you are doing it, I don't know what level. Do you still have to do that thing, attachment, or
You have
before
to,
you qualify? You have to
get a contract for 2 years.
Yeah, and that's where the problem is. So you want to get an attachment in business law, corporate law, or M&A law, or something. I don't know. Not immigration or most of the time it's always immigration or family law that we get to roll into. That's the problem most of us have. Yeah, that's just my own honest opinion. But I don't know. You might be on something else. You might be on level 1 power. You might just break into Clifford Chance. I don't know. So that's it. I have a friend in Clifford Chance as well. So yeah. So it just depends. It just depends. I think the opportunities in compliance are solid because in AML KYC industry, every bank, every law firm, everywhere, they have to comply with the law. And if they don't, then they get fined. When they get fined, then that's when they'll be looking for us, looking for all of us. And of course, they have to pay us. Yeah. So that's my own. I think about it. I think I'm more towards the compliance. I think. But you can do both of them and then apply for both. And then, whichever one pays the most, go for it. I don't know.
Okay.
I understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Lumi. We have additional questions for you. Tenlolua is asking, and I think somebody else, Goodness, is also asking that can someone with no experience in tech have all their experience in care be able to get a job in compliance after the training? Temlolua is transitioning from the educational sector to, so they're both asking, like, one person is from care and wants to take the compliance bootcamp and is asking if they can get a job after. The other person is from the educational sector and is asking if they can get a job after taking the compliance bootcamp.
Yes, of course. We've had many people coming from care from all over the place that have been getting jobs in compliance, and that's where majority of our people come from care. So it's it's a learning curve, okay, but our course is targeted at beginner level. So you learn what you need to learn, and even if you're applying for an entry level job as well, okay, it's not too bad. You can do it for 6 months. Like now, there are some jobs that they are begging people to come for. Nobody wants to go and work in Scotland. Why? But it's a sacrifice. You know, they are begging people come and apply to JP Morgan in Scotland. Everybody is going to London. Everybody is going to London. Why? Because there was a time I had to go and work in Bournemouth. I had to go and work in Bournemouth just to put JP Morgan on my CV. Everybody thought I was crazy. Yeah, you are doing 3 hours one way. Yeah, suffering 9 months. So sometimes you are not looking at the job you are getting, but you are looking at what that job will get you. So even if you are starting on an entry level job, 30,000, 28,000, it's just for you to get into the industry, you know. And then those ones that have sponsorship, they try to cheat you. They'll be paying maybe 45, 50, or you know, whatever the sponsorship margin is, and they will make you work for that money. But once you get your pali, you can just easily move away from them. So there are jobs, there are entry level jobs, there are all sorts, you know. There are jobs whereby people are even doing 2 or 3 jobs. So it just depends on what you can do. If you are strong, you know, you can be a contractor, you can be earning 300 a day, 400 a day. If they like you, they can make you permanent. They can apply for sponsorship for you. The challenge most people have is that they are going for interviews for a sponsorship role, but they don't have something that the company values. So if the company is looking for an AML officer that will save it from getting fined, and then the AML person is coming, but they don't know GMLSG, they have no idea of chapter 4 of the GMLSG about risk. They have no idea about risk recommendation 1 of the FATF. How do you want to convince them that you will do your job efficiently and perfectly? You understand? It's from the interview that I'll know if I can sponsor someone. If I'm a recruiter, I'll know what this person deserves. You get what I'm saying? And maybe some people as well that have already gotten jobs, and some of them didn't even get sponsorship because they were on short-term contracts, and some of them got invited into palm roles because they proved themselves. I know somebody that became a director in less than a year. This person already had 17 years legal experience in Nigeria. So you already had the experience. I think somebody needs to mute. I think somebody needs to mute. I don't know. Okay. Let me see. Okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry guys. Okay, so that person had legal experience in Nigeria. Okay, so they were doing the kinds of stuff I was also doing. But the minute they got into compliance, under 1 year, you can't. What even happened was they gave him a temp role. Then I found out that this guy can. Then the director now left. This guy can manage everything, and he just started managing it, and they've not had a problem since. Yeah, so don't limit yourself. Don't think you can't do anything. There is nothing impossible. I still have people that are still doing cleaning and all those things. They think that's the best. I don't understand it. Me, I don't know. There is only one life. Nobody is coming to save anybody. But if you don't make an effort to change things, how? I don't know. I just don't know how to explain it. But if you give yourself the best, okay? So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Lumi. So I think he has answered your question, Tim Lulua, and Goodness, yes, we do have loads of our students that are coming from the care industry. I think one of the things we always notice here, like cohort by cohort, the people who get the jobs, the people who go on to get the offers, are people who actually apply themselves. These are the people who pay attention in class. They're asking the questions. They are not just here to pass time. They actually focus on the learnings. They ensure that they can defend their experience. They can defend their bootcamp experience in front of any recruiter. And of course, nothing is going to come easy. It's not just going to be, oh, you just do the boot camp and the job will just fall. But once you're able to apply yourself, you would be able to take full advantage and get a job in compliance after the training, regardless of whatever experience that you have. Just when you asked, is this course mainly for lawyers? Of course not. We just explained that. Then you said, is the court part of GDPR? And what roles do we get after completing the course? Yes, GDPR is one of the skill sets that you would be getting in the course. And in terms of what roles do you have, would you gain afterwards? I already listed this when I was talking, but just to iterate to you, some of the roles you can apply to after the bootcamp includes AML analyst, compliance analyst, risk analyst, KYC analyst, compliance officer, data protection officer, regulatory affairs specialist, compliance risk manager, AML investigator, business compliance analyst, KYC quality control analyst, policy and procedure. It's not limited to this, but this is just giving you a few tips to know that, yeah, there are quite a number of roles that you can definitely apply for after taking the course. So any other question?
I have a question for Lumi.
Please go ahead.
Okay.
Right. So you've mentioned that you've got experience in project management as well, because I took a course, Prince 2 course in project management, and I was now deliberating on whether to do project management or compliance. So I just want to get an idea from you, which of this course do you think is more in demand or is more easier to branch into? Because for project management, I feel like I just got the theoretical knowledge, but I don't really have the hands-on skills or the experience to really do that job, which is why I'm also considering compliance, because back in Nigeria I was an internal control officer, so I feel like it's something that I can really do.
Oh, okay. So that just answers your question automatically, because I know project management is a good skill, and since you've already read it, it will also be additional to you working as a compliance analyst, because you also have to be organizational, and like now you have an eye for detail. You have to work on projects. You have to do things on time. You have trackers, you have all those things. So I think you will have some of those transferable skills. I think no education is lost. So you might end up one day being an AML project manager. You never know. So I am biased anyway. I just think compliance is too easy for anybody to ignore, because it's not like you need to. There is no mathematics. It's not like I'm running away from maths or something, but there is no maths. It's just like you're learning, what they did to you when you were opening a bank account, and you're doing it back to somebody else that wants to open a bank account. So that's what it is. So you're asking people passports, proof of address, source of wealth, source of funds. Sometimes you have tough cases, and then you investigate them. You understand transactions and all those things. So what you are really doing is you are just playing around with materials. You need to know where to get information from. You want to make a report to someone. What are the things we are looking for? You want to write suspicious activity reports to the police. How do you write it? And or even you want to train people. What do you train them on? What's the law? What's this? What's that? So I think compliance is the best to me. Not because I'm in compliance, but I don't know. The journey just seems easier for me, even though it took me 7 years to break in, because we didn't have people like RKY then. So we've seen people break into compliance in less than 2-3 weeks. So some people have been applying even before we started doing their CVs, and some people even just applied for our course because they even had an interview. And then the next thing, they are just putting pressure on us. So yeah, please quickly help me with your interview process. And of course, we always help because our own is to help people to get jobs. That's what makes us happy here.
Mm.
So, I would say jump on the course. And because of your previous banking experience as well, is also a plus. Even if you don't have any banking experience or any experience, they are employing people that don't have experience in compliance as well. The only problem is they pay them, 30K or something, not, a lot and all that, and then sometimes you might just do two jobs and you might be able to balance up. But that might be a lot of stress, but it's doable. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Thank you very
welcome.
much, Lumi.
Welcome.
Josephine has another question. Please go ahead,
Yeah.
Josephine.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Remy and Abi Sola.
Yeah.
I'm a mental health nurse. So my question is compliance in every sector? Because most of the things you're talking about is in law, but I'm a mental health nurse. I'm in the healthcare sector. So is this course, is it relevant to my sector as well? So that's the question I have.
If I'm going to answer it with all honesty, we focus on anti-money laundering and KYC. So we're not focusing on the health side of things. The only thing you will learn is how we process investigations and how we process GDPR. Um, that might apply to you in that sector because you guys have a lot of GDPR issues as well because you have to also comply with Article 5. So that's the truth about it. It's not like, some partners will have some banking responsibilities and finance. So if you find yourself in that department, yes, this course will apply to you. Then if you are looking at privacy or GDPR in the NHS, which exists, which is also a very good area to be in. They also pay well. That's also applicable to you as well. So yeah, but AML KYC is not a very popular thing in the health sector. Someone from mental health. Let me see. I'm trying to see where I can position. Okay, let me see. Mental health. Yeah. Unless you are looking at GDPR, where you want to move
Yeah.
into GDPR, yeah, I think that would be the closest. Unless you want to move out of medical, but with your skills that you already have, that means you have to go and start again in banking. You get,
Hmm.
you get. So it depends on what you are looking for. If you are looking that you don't mind starting again with 30, 40K, and then
Yeah.
over maybe 4, 5 years going to 80, 90, 100. Yeah,
Hmm. Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Abisola, you said your hands are still raised.
Yes, please.
Please go
Good
ahead.
afternoon, everyone. Thank you. I think my question is kind of similar to one of the questions that has been asked, but is not in the same field. So I'm just going to like quickly give like a brief overview of what I've done so far because I'm just at the stage of taking a decision. So when I thought it, I just said, let me sign up to just get insight into it as it will help me to take an informed decision, right? So for my first degree, I did accounting. I never worked in the bank. Then I got into HR. So I've worked in HR space for a couple of years now, right? I did my master's in HR and then I haven't gotten HR role in the UK, right? And I'm just looking for, because I just like to, upskill and do that and do, what I can do. So when I got into this, because my current role now, because I know that okay, we are talking compliance, but I'm not sure that is kind of like related to what I'm currently doing. But I also want to believe that yes, compliance. I work in a business support role, but property compliance, right? And I'm just like, okay, I wanted like a backup even with my um HR experience and all that. So I'm just asking that, okay, could this be it for me? Is it something that I can go for? Is it or is it not? So that's just basically it.
Okay, thanks very much. That question is quite interesting as well because you said, yeah, are you in real estate?
No, I'm not in real estate. I work with a group of organization. They have care and support, and they do supported living. They have properties that they manage, right? So it's
Yeah.
I do business support, but I just say property compliance because that is what the company is really, really big on. They give out
Okay.
property buildings, but then again, they manage the tenants of those properties as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means there is a possibility that within that department you might have finance department or something like that, and you
Yes, they
might
have finance.
even
I work closely with finance, especially because I manage about six contractors, and then
okay,
I handle their completions to push to income. To yes, we call our finance department income for their payment to treat their invoices and all that. And so that's what I'm doing currently. Even though that's not my bus stop, right? It's not my final bus stop, but that is what I'm doing
okay,
currently. Yeah.
okay. So it's like something as if already on your CV you have fraud detection safe because already you are dealing with money and you are making sure that you protect the company's money.
Yeah.
Um, you might move closer to that team. Fraud detection. I'm sure you guys must have issues where some people try to do fraud or something. There must be a team there that would also be vetting some of the partners you will be dealing with as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it depends on you. It's something that you can decide that you want to go further. You might decide, okay, I'm branching out, I want to go for compliance, and something on your CV is already showing that you're doing something similar. So fraud rules, even though you've not done fraud, if you've done the training, you might be able to backdate some skills and say, yeah, because there are some of those things you're expected to have done as well. I don't know. Company wide, I think they are expected to comply with MLR 2017. I expected to not, to comply with poker, to not be involved in criminal property and all that. So your firm must have a way of doing that, hopefully. And if they don't, it's interesting, Sha, but I don't know. But it's something that we can you can learn, and you can also talk about our interviews as well. I think, yeah, it's all to me, it's all about packaging. It's the game is called packaging. That's just what it is. It's not, you are marketing yourself, and at the CV stage and at the interview stage, you are marketing yourself and negotiating for a better future. So of course on your CV, you're not allowed to lie and say change your job title, but you're allowed to say things in a way that of course it will be realistic and would also market yourself. So like now, let's say I've worked somewhere I've worked as a customer service in a bank now. I'm
Yeah.
expected to know KYC AML, or I'm a lawyer or something. I'm expected to know KYC AML, or else am I helping terrorists and kidnappers? You get, or even if I'm working in an admin role, I'm expected to. Even everybody knows. I'm sure all of you. Somebody is vexing for Tinubu or Atiku or Peter Obi or Trump or Starmer or something. It's all over the place. There's corruption all over the place. So everybody is angry. I can tell you that. So you don't want kidnappers to make money now. I'm sure. So you know so I guess it's something that everybody's involved in as a society. You yourself, if you know some things about AML, it might allow you to avoid being used as a money mule. Some people just send money to other people's accounts. They say it's a mistake. There are things going on that we might need to know to protect ourselves as well. So I'm always biased. I'm always biased, but I think compliance opens a lot of variations and niche areas for you. It's just that you just have to decide when you are ready, you know. If you decide you are ready now, then we are here for you. And then if you decide, okay, I want to think about it, maybe data might be a better fit for me or something. But I just think, you know, if salary wise, what pays the most? They both pay well. It's a tough one. They both pay well. They both pay well because I've seen contractors in data earning 700, 800 a day. And I've also seen compliance MLROs earning 1,000, 2,000, you know, and all that a day. You know, there are skilled persons panels also. So it just depends on what you can carve out. I want is to
Yes.
lay the foundation and then give you ideas, and then you now decide. Some people, they might like privacy, you know, just drafting
Mm.
GDPR policies, running impact assessments, you know, responding to subject access requests. You know, people can just, you know, like now in NHS now, you probably have a lot of people sending subject access requests about their data. It's such a large organization that their GDPR is going to be like a secretariat. You know, you have thousands, millions of people's records there. So the GDPR program, it must be busy. So it's something you can look at. But I would say just
Okay.
think of what will make you happy. Are you going to be happy working in NHS, working in legal, working in banking, working in a crypto firm? What will make you happy? Then find a way to achieve it. I think, yeah. Because some people are better off doing MLRO work. Some people are better off doing data work. Some people might even be better off being a doctor, you know. So it just depends on what you want to do. Think about it, but the only difference with whatever you are doing is that we have unlimited support here. So it's not like when we finish training you after 1 year, you are bored, you are moving roles, we've abandoned you. No. We are here for you. You can see, just like Shegun said, one of our students, yeah, we are here for you. So that's the difference, you know, the support is there. So whatever you do, we are here. Or maybe if you decide to go for something else, do they have the same kind of support? I don't know. They must have a lot of energy to give that kind of support. Anyway, no problem. I hope that helps you answer your question, though.
Yes, it did, right, to an extent. But I believe that so that I don't keep everybody here, you said you have people that we can talk to, because at some point I also considered business analysis, right? So I was just
Oh,
like,
yes.
okay, my skills and all that. So I may wish to actually take the discussion further because I'm actually ready. For me, yes, money is good. That's like the end game. So whatever it is now that I'm getting is supposed to be like a means to an end. Because one, I'm also looking
Yeah.
at sponsorship, right? I'm looking at a job that can come with sponsorship as well and all that. So for me, it's not so much about the money now, because I know that
Okay.
eventually money will come, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like doing things like I have like a flow chart of things that I feel needs to be done and achieved before this and this and all that, you know. It's just how to know how
Yeah.
to break into this UK market, and just, for you to know that, okay, yes, this is the perfect fit for you, and then you can ride on that. Yeah.
Yeah. And the good thing is that we also have a solid business analysis course as well. So, you know, you can do your research, and then once you are sure of what you want to do, of course, yeah, then yeah. But that's a good one. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lumi. I'm happy that your question has been answered, Bisola. I think we just have one more question before we go, and it's from Debbie. Debbie, I'm not sure we have time for this, but okay, let me just read it out. Please, can you give a brief summary of what data protection or GDPR entails? I currently work in HR and understand GDPR and data protection. However, I would like to know how to transition from HR into a compliance role, to be specific, data protection analyst.
Okay, so should I just break down what a GDPR role should look like? All right. So what a GDPR role will be like is, it now depends on the company. So the first thing you have to understand is, are we in the materiality scope of the GDPR? What are we doing that will trigger the GDPR? Okay, are we analyzing people's records? Are we recording? Are we, collecting records and all that? Once we've identified that, we are dealing with data. Okay, and then is the data from UK people and all that. So if it's the UK citizens and all that, then GDPR applies to us. Then we have to now check what we are doing. Of course, most times that would already be established. Then we now have to do your data assessment. What are the data points? Where are your exposures and all that? So where are we collecting data? Where are we giving out data? Who is collecting the data? Who is exposed to the data? Who can see the data? Who can steal the data? Those are the kind of questions you now ask. But now you now have to protect that data as well. Okay? And what you have to do under Article 5 is very simple. So they've told you the steps to take, what you have to comply with. You have to now design your program for your organization by this. You have to make sure it's privacy by design. So right from the foundation, you are thinking of complying with the GDPR Article 5 right from the scratch. So anytime you have a project, you should get the GDPR guys involved. Why are we asking for this information? This information is not needed. Who is protecting the data? You are putting the data here, blah, blah, blah. No. You have to encrypt it. You have to do this. So they would now advise all the other departments, okay, on, steps to take to protect people's privacy. So that's what you'll be doing. You have an impact assessment whereby you look at everything. You look at processes, you look at technology, and you look at people, and find a way to protect your firm. Like now, think of access. Not everybody in the organizations needs to have access. Like now, okay, let's look at our organization. Someone working in compliance, why should they have an access to the information in the IT department? What's the IT's department business with the finance information? So your governance, your information governance should be well set. So those are the things you need to do. Why would anybody would not have a two-factor authentication? Why would we not have confidential documents? Why would we not categorize our documentation? So those are some of the things you need to identify and implement as well. So on a daily basis, if you are a large organization like NHS, I think you do a lot of subject access requests. So people are asking about their information. Even like a recruiter to and all that, they might say, okay, well, how much, send me information you have on myself. They might say, okay, after they even finish, delete all the information you have. You've not been giving me any interviews. Delete my CV from your records. So you now have to have a system whereby you add it. Maybe it's a ticket system or whatever. You add it to a tracker and everything. Somebody deals with it. You might have hundreds of that every minute, or I don't know, every day or something, depending on where you work. NHS. How can you use technology to solve that problem as well? Then you are thinking of cyber security as well. You need to protect the data. It's one of the objectives of the GDPR. So it's not like you have people's data. You also have to invest in systems to protect it. Your systems have to be protected as well. So you are thinking of all that. The system, the data also has to be accurate. One of the objectives of GDPR, the information has to be accurate. You have a duty. And then even if you are now working with other partners, they also have to apply GDPR. And if you are also subcontracting, okay, you are delegating to anybody, or you have to make sure that they meet the standards and they comply with GDPR as well. Okay, if you have breaches, you have to report yourself. You have to be transparent. You have to have registered with the ICU. You have to comply with the clauses as well. You need to have a clause when you have cross-border transactions as well. You need to document everything as well. So once in a while, go ahead.
No, are you done, Lumi?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
go
you.
ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay then. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm sure Lumi has answered all our questions. For those, Reinhard, your questions have been answered via the support in the group chats, in the meeting chats. So please, if you have further questions about enrollment, about the course, if you have any other inquiries, you can message us on any of the three support WhatsApp group that have been indicated in the meeting chat room. And barring that, we look forward to seeing everybody in the compliance class. I love the fact that a lot of you have been enjoying. Let me shed more insight, and like I said, is a wealth of experience as one of our facilitators. So that's one of the things that you would enjoy. You can be sure that you're in safe hands when it comes to the compliance class at RKY. So thank you everybody for joining this session. I look forward to seeing us. Please let us enjoy the rest of our day. The WhatsApp numbers will be dropped once again. Support, please drop that. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. The compliance class will be starting October 25th. Okay, then. Bye. Enjoy the rest of your day.